What's happening, guys? My name is Max. We are back for some more Sam and Colby today. I just finished reacting to episode 1, and I stopped at about the 50-minute mark, but I'm going to pick up where I left off and watch the rest of the first episode because some people in the comments were saying that that's when they try to debunk what happened. This is the first time I've ever watched this type of content before where there's spirits. Now, generally what I do on my channel is I assess people's communication skills and I give you my thoughts on what I think they do well as speakers and what I think makes them likable and engaging as speakers. So this is a little bit outside of my area of expertise and focus. That said, I feel like there might be some crossover here. And from what I assessed, I thought that Sam and Colby were being completely genuine. I did make a note at the end of my video that I would be shocked if they faked this because they have such a big audience that it wouldn't make sense that they'd risk ruining their reputation. And I think if they were faking it, that would really disappoint and upset a lot of their audience. And then a lot of people in the comments were saying, well, hey, we're not really concerned about Sam and Colby. People are really more skeptical about the validity of the two people conjuring the spirits, which were Cody and Satori. So maybe I'll pay a little bit more attention to them. Let's get right into the rest of the episode here. I look forward to it. Thanks for being here, guys.
This is perfect.
Good for you? Can you come upstairs? Can you come into the room?
There it is. It's right there. You can hear it.
Try to get the camera as close as possible.
I know, right? Each of you pick up a leg.
Like some people in the comments were saying something about ankle clicking. I don't buy that at all. Maybe there's another method, there's something else that's happening that I don't know about, right? Like if you dedicate your life to trying to dupe people about these things, I'm sure you can come up with something like really, really clever. Maybe there's an ankle clicking. I just don't see how that's possible. That doesn't make sense to me that they'd be that accurate with the ankle clicks. And then also the camera seems to be on their ankles quite a bit as well. It just, I don't know.
I know you.
Are we like gonna dance while we're doing
No,
this?
again, I think that's enough proof in the pudding. We switched spots. We saw their shoes. It's still hitting.
Thank you.
Insane.
Yeah, and the noises seem to move around. I keep on fucking up their names. Satori. They keep on moving around the couple, Satori and Cody. If they're clicking their ankles, then it's like, why are the noises dispersed? Like, wouldn't the noise sort of be in the same spot the entire time? Some people say they can put the audio in post-production, but that would mean that the couple and Sam and Colby have collaborated here, which seem to be very unlikely unless they're the greatest actors in the entire world. Honestly, it's funny looking at Satori and Colby. They look like just very regular people. I don't mean that in a negative way or a positive way. Just like regular people.
Abigail, is there any message that you wanted to give to Sam and Colby? Because they're going to be here for a week, as you know. Anything that you'd like them to know?
The woods? There's something about the woods? Is that what you're saying? Okay.
Okay, what about the woods?
Now you guys have made me skeptical. Now I'm like staring at Cody over here being like, what's up with this dude? Why does this dude seem so nonchalant? What's up with him? Is he hiding something? Is Cody hiding something? They're doing a damn good job if this is fake. Damn good job.
Cautious?
Be cautious
Be
in the
cautious
woods.
in the woods?
Okay.
Okay.
Just gave us a warning about the woods.
Okay, now is there something that they can do, like provide an offering or something before they go into the woods to help with communication with any spirits in the woods? Is there something they can do?
No or yes?
She's
She's spelling.
Oh.
Cody barely seems like he's there. You know what I mean? Like he's like not even like fully paying attention, it feels like. I don't know what that means, man. Like he's just kind of there. Like you'd think you'd have to like be super present and tapped in spiritually. Like when I think of people who are like really spiritual, and I'm not saying this needs to be the case, but when I think of people who are like super spiritual, Satori and Cody aren't the first people that come to mind. Maybe I think of people who are like wearing like robes and shit. But anyway, that's part of what's kind of funny to me when I see Cody's sort of nonchalant attitude here, and he's just sort of like, yeah, kind of going along with it. But yeah, I mean, maybe that's a part of it. They've seen this so much that to an extent they're desensitized to it. They're not going to have the same emotional reaction as Sam and Colby or the people that they're conjuring spirits for. So maybe that's why he kind of seems nonchalant and not like incredibly present.
K-L-M-N-O, good. A-B-C-D-E-F-G-H-I. I think I know what she's saying. A-B-C-D-E-F-G-H-I-K-K-L-M-N-O. Intentions.
Good intentions.
Going with good
Going with
intentions.
good intentions.
Okay.
That's the best
Thank you.
protector, I guess.
Yeah.
It is.
Thank you. Will do.
I don't know. You know what? Colby's weird, huh? He's weird. I kind of like him, but he's weird. He's like not tuned in, but he's tuned in at the same time. He's done this so much. You could kind of see how experienced he is. Doesn't even seem like he's paying attention, but he's still sort of there. It's just hard for me to think of people that would fake this. Like, if Satori and Cody are faking this, like, first of all, they're an amazing, amazing acting duo. Secondly, I don't know if it's right? Like, you kind of question the ethics of it all. You're putting yourselves out there publicly. You're kind of messing with people's emotions in a big way. Maybe they can justify it. Let's say they were faking it. Maybe they can justify it by saying, hey, like, we make people feel like they're really connecting with their ancestors, and whether it's true or not, they believe it, and it's still this like unbelievable experience for them that they'll never have. You know, there's like that justification there. You know, I like to think that the majority of human beings are good people. Yes, I know some people are shitty, and yes, some people develop shitty belief systems, etc., but I think the vast majority of us don't want to hurt others, right?
She's off to bed for the night.
It's late for me.
Good night, Abigail.
She walked right by in there. That's
Is
funny.
anyone else here? Any other spirits here? How about
Hello?
Henry?
Just the way Cody said, oh, it just like the spirit just went right past me.
She walked.
He doesn't seem like the type of guy that would make stuff up. He doesn't seem like that type of guy. Just seems like a pretty just like simple guy, right? Am I right? I don't see him thinking, okay, I'm going to need to say something here in order to trick them. He doesn't seem like a cerebral type of guy. He doesn't seem like he's a type of guy that like is thinking 2, 3, 4 steps ahead. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that's like the big gimmick and the big act that he's putting on. And if that's so, very impressive. But he seems like a pretty like matter-of-fact, kind of simple guy in a sense. So I don't see him being cerebral in the sense that he's like thinking about saying things like, oh, I'm going to say like the ghost is going to come by here. Like he just doesn't seem like he has that lying capability. Again, I could be wrong.
It's late for me.
Good night, Abigail.
She walked right by in there. That's funny.
And then Satori right after was like, she walked right by right there. That was funny. Like they say it so confidently. And then it looked like Cody kind of got chills when that spirit walked by. That kind of looked like a genuine reaction from him. Like the spirit got like he got chills knowing the spirit walked by. And then just so calmly and casually, Satori said, yeah, the spirit walked right by. I know they're a couple from the comments that I saw, so they could obviously be playing off each other extremely well. That would be crazy. What a duo they would be if they were faking it. What a duo.
She's off to bed for the night.
It's late for me.
Good night, Abigail.
She walked right by in there. That's
Is
funny.
anyone else here? Any other spirits here?
See, that is crazy. And like if I was Colby, that would reinforce the reality of this whole thing. It's not only do you hear these noises and you hear the knocking and the tapping and the communication in that regard, but then you see Cody and Satori who are like, I just saw it walk right by. I just felt it walk right by. I'd be completely freaked out. And it seems like they've had some time to really sit down and chat with this married couple. They've probably like built this rapport and this trust with them. And at this point, they're going to believe what they say. It would be pretty awful if Cody and Satori were lying to them. It would be pretty awful if they like went through this whole entire gimmick and were lying about the whole thing.
How about
Hello?
Henry?
That was just
That was
the
a lot.
floor.
Oh.
I think.
I thought that was. Oh, what's that?
Is that the floor?
That might be where I'm standing, actually.
Is anyone else here with us in this room?
It sounds like it's a different area.
Yeah, it sounds like it's somewhere else.
Are there cameras downstairs too? Like, just in case they had like a third crew member kind of like hiding the entire time. Maybe they're outside and the second they go upstairs, they're like kind of creeping downstairs and tapping. I highly doubt that too, but I wonder if they're filming downstairs just to see, or if someone's downstairs just to make sure no one's doing any of the tapping. Maybe that's where Sam is right now. I haven't seen him. Maybe that's where Zach is.
Well, Henry, we have some friends for you this week.
No, Sam's there. Never
And I'm
mind.
sure they would love to hang out with you. Okay? All right, we'll leave you to
All
it.
right, have fun.
See ya.
Thanks for talking.
Whoa! Whoa! Episode 1 is crazy!
These guys are cool. I like Colby and Sam. These guys are cool, man. I like their reactions. They seem like really genuine dudes. They're totally freaked out.
Oh my god.
You might have just proved to millions of people that think this is all real.
I've never seen anything like this. Ever.
We haven't either.
We haven't either, so your reactions were our reactions when we first figured it out.
I felt it was important that you see this early, as soon as we could get them on for you. I thought that.
Thank you.
Yeah, you'd have to be completely sociopathic to be lying about these things to Sam and Colby over here, or to anyone else who wants to communicate with their spirits. Am I right in saying that? Yeah, I think I am. They're just carrying out this whole lie. Sociopathic, man. For the people doubting Satori and Cody, it's like, the question is, are they sociopaths? That's the right question. And I don't want to put that label on anyone. So I'm going with this is real. I'm going with this is real. I think I also believe in spirits and ghosts as well. Like I'm not ready to close that option out of my life. And like I said in my last video, the older I get, the more I become open to all these different possibilities of different things existing. I mean, there's a lot of people who have talked about encountering spirits, so it would be hard to deny hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people's experiences. We're just going to deny all those instances just because we can't see them?
I mean, like, obviously, I don't know if you guys even know the answer to this question, but do you think, family members and loved ones can just tap in for a second and, like, talk, and, like, only have energy to just communicate that one message and then leave, or...
I don't think so.
Yeah, I think they're usually around. Usually the message that comes through is something that they really want to get across right away. We could do this again tomorrow, and they might come back and say something totally different. You know what I mean? So, I mean...
That's a good question. Are they usually quick conversations or longer conversations? That's actually a good question. Like, Colby and Sam are clearly trying to get to the bottom of this. Like, I'm not questioning their intentions really at this point. I'm not questioning their reactions. At this point, I feel like their reactions are real. Satori and Cody are either really, really, really good at their jobs in terms of like being deceptive and lying and sort of executing this method, or like they're being real. And I think the more realistic answer is that they're being real based on ethics, based on how difficult of a task this would be to pull off, and just based on their reactions to the spirits. Like, again, they'd have to be unbelievably sociopathic and incredibly skilled manipulators. I don't see that. I just don't see that. And that's my personal opinion.
The first time we ever had an experience that showed us like this was exactly like this. It was little taps, said yes or no questions back and forth, and
great.
no one believed us. Because we didn't capture on camera. We've been telling the same story for 6 years, trying to get people to be like, no, this actually happened. And now people can see this on camera that we weren't fucking joking 6 years ago.
So these guys have been at it for a while, huh? They've been at YouTube for a while. They're both pretty charismatic guys. Sam in particular, I feel like when he speaks with quite a bit of passion and conviction. I find him, from what I've seen, he seems to be like a really engaging speaker. Not only do they seem really genuine, they seem like kind of relatable, likable guys, but they also have a level of charisma to them that I think probably contributed to how big their fan base is, right? Like, they're definitely entertaining, engaging speakers. And even with Sam, like, just the way he projects his voice and his conviction behind his words draws you in, right? He's just sort of captivating in that way.
We've been telling the same story over and over and over again, because that's like the one thing that we've held on to that changed us from skeptics to believers, and ever since we
So you
started
should keep trying it. I really think living energy, when certain living energies come together, and it doesn't have to be a couple like Satori.
But you can even see, like, look at the difference between Sam and Colby and the couple on camera. Like, you can just see the way that Sam and Colby look directly at the camera and sort of engage with the camera. There's just a next level of comfort with them. They're very comfortable on camera.
No kidding.
It's cool.
Now I feel like we're gonna leave you confused for the rest of your.
Just float away. It's a lot to process.
I don't think I'll ever process this.
Yeah. Yeah.
What you guys were.
Slowly
We're gonna see that on the security camera. But try things like that, because maybe something was happening that you haven't recreated since then. So maybe you were connecting somehow.
We're gonna have to take some time to process it. Oh my god, thank you so
First day meet you.
Thank
We'll see you
you.
tomorrow.
That was
okay?
insane.
That was crazy, man. That was crazy. That whole interaction was interesting. And they were even like empathizing with Sam and Colby as well. They're like, yeah, no, it's a lot. It's a lot to take in. They were really kind of, at the end there, putting themselves in Sam and Colby's shoes, and
I feel like we're gonna leave you confused.
at the same time kind of like giving them space to react and respond. Like, they weren't being too invasive. They were just kind of being there and understanding like this is probably a crazy experience for them, and just sort of like knowing how to keep their distance while still being empathetic and responsive. The way they communicated seemed very real, in the sense that they were responding to people who really just encountered spirits.
Thank you so
First day meet you.
Thank
We'll see you
you.
tomorrow.
That was
okay?
insane. Thank you.
I'm glad something happened.
Like, she didn't look at Sam when she shook his hand, and then she turned away when she looked at Colby when she shook his hand. I'm getting very detailed about this. That doesn't necessarily imply that she's lying or being fake. Maybe there's like an intimidation factor. Maybe she's, a little uncomfortable with making eye contact because there's like a social awkwardness that she has. I don't know, it could be a lot of different things, but they're just it's just an odd pairing. Not to say that they're faking it, I'm just saying the pairing's odd. Like, they just seem like a couple that would be working at a retail store or an amusement park. They happen to be in this like super spiritual, really meaningful line of work. This is a big deal. They're helping people communicate with their ancestors. Like, this is a once in a lifetime, life-changing experience that they are facilitating. And they just seem to be like, again, really just regular people, which I find fascinating. It's not like these people who have spent like years isolated in the wilderness, tapping into like their spiritual essence. You know what I mean? That's sort of like the oddity of it all. That's sort of like the weird part of it all for me. Like, but again, I shouldn't be judging a book by its cover. I don't know the research that they've done. I don't know the depths of sort of work that they've done on themselves, or how inwardly they've looked, or what the science is of communicating with spirits. I'm sure they have done a lot of work on their own, so I don't want to dismiss or discount their abilities and their work ethic at all. If I'm judging a book by its cover, they just seem like normal people, normal folk. That's all.
While we were editing, we realized that there were some possible non-paranormal explanations for Cody and Satori's knocking method, so we went back to Rhode Island to figure it out for ourselves.
After brainstorming, we wrote down all the best questions and experiments we could come up with, and we're going to be showing a recap of each one of those right now. So let's start with everyone's main question.
All right.
Is the Conjuring house rigged? In order to test that, we wanted to see if Cody and Satori could make these knocks happen outside.
Oh god, haven't seen this in months. I'm freaking out.
They seemed so chill about it, Cody and Satori. It's like, no problem. We know we're not fucking around. We know we're not duping anyone. So Cody's disposition is very, like I said, almost nonchalant. He doesn't feel like he has to do much and the spirits come up. Like, this is just, it's just so easy for him. It doesn't seem like there's any sort of like mental focus or mental work that needs to go on in order to conjure the spirits. It's more just like, we put our arms together and they just come, they just flock, which is crazy. Isn't that crazy? It's like, it's so easy. It's like, all right, we just do this. I'm just going to fucking like zone out and the spirits are going to come, you know? Yeah, they don't seem bothered at all. Like, that's the other thing with Cody and Satori. They don't seem rattled. They seem open to any sort of questions or skepticism without any sort of pushback.
Are you ready?
Mm-hmm. All right, Abigail or anybody, if you're here, can you come up to the front for me?
Here it is. It's outside.
Come over here.
Can you stand right over here?
Is that Yeah, you can hear.
I mean, unless they have like weird speakers like planted in the trees or like in their jeans or something like that, they've like put like a speaker, some sort of audio system, you know, that's always a possibility. Again, there's just too much at risk because Colby and Sam seem completely on board with this, and I feel like they would be doing their due diligence, and then they would have to risk Sam and Colby finding out that they're messing with them. And I'm sure Sam and Colby or their team kind of check the property around them, and you know, if those guys found out that Satori and Cody were up to something and kind of duping everyone, then their whole operation would be exposed. So there's too much to risk in terms of their reputation, in terms of their livelihood, in terms of, you know, their morality. So I'm on board, people.
They could make these knocks happen outside, which was absolutely insane, but yeah, it's still on the Conjuring property, which they had access to. So to make double sure, we're like, okay, can you go to a random, non-haunted location that you've never been to before, so we know you don't have anything prepared?
And guys, even Sam and I had no idea where these locations would be. We all got in the car together and we had a team member send us these random locations.
Yeah, Colby's just as charismatic as Sam. They're both very charismatic guys, just the way they present themselves to the camera. Again, you know, they like to tell stories, right? You can tell they're good storytellers. They like to tell stories, and they're very animated, and again, they keep you, you know, a sign of a good speaker is someone who kind of changes their pitch patterns, right? They change their pitch patterns. They keep you engaged. They go up and down. They emphasize certain words. They're engaging speakers.
It's way away from the Conjuring house. We are on pavement. We have new shoes. Satori's hair is up, and they had no idea where we were taking them. We did not even.
We have no idea where we are right now.
Yeah, we don't even know where we are.
Okay, so then this would debunk the audio around the property.
So at this point, we could still hear the knocks in person, but the camera mic couldn't pick it up due to all the outside noise. So we're going to fast forward to where you can start hearing it again.
Bossy.
Terry Fossey. Nice to meet you, Terry.
Why are you in the park?
Try to talk as loud as you can, okay? I know there's a lot of noise
Take some of our
outside.
energy if you need to.
I like how Satori talks to the spirits like they're a baby, you know? Try to talk as loud as you can, okay?
Try to talk as loud as you can, okay?
Cody's so, like, his face is just, he's not a very animated person. It's just funny to me watching his reaction. It's very kind of stoic in a sense.
You're a teacher? Okay, thank you for confirming that. Okay.
Is this a school park?
Yeah, no. It's spelling. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, G. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, L. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H.
What's Cody's deal? What's Cody's deal? I gotta talk to Cody. Maybe he's tapped into another world that we have no idea about. I do think he kind of gets into a different zone. I think he does sort of get into a different world. Like when I was saying earlier that I sense that he's kind of like nonchalant and kind of like tapped out, I think he just kind of plugs into a different world. And maybe that's sort of like his spiritual world that he plugs into in his own way. Maybe he's able to access like a different dimension or a different sort of like layer that most people aren't able to access. I don't know. I don't know where he goes. That's what I'm confused about. Like I look at Cody, I'm like, dude, where are you going?
Globe.
Globe.
More.
Oh, wait. This is Globe Park. Yeah,
we're at?
I just looked at this sign right here. It says Globe Park. Globe Park School is 800 feet that way.
No. No way.
And you could feel it on your feet. Like the vibrations were going through our shoes.
Like, how do you explain them being able to do that in a random park? Random pavement, we could still feel it on our feet?
So then again, it comes back to, do you believe Sam and Colby are being genuine? And I do. I really do. So if these guys are what these guys are saying is true, then it's really hard for me to question the spirits and the legitimacy of the spirits. Like they seem, like I said last video, I'm almost 100% convinced that this is real. And the fact that they took them out there and got them slippers and did all these things and took them away from the Conjuring house, it just seems hard. I mean, listen, maybe I'll need to watch a video of some experts debunking this, but right now, from everything I'm seeing, this seems to be 100% real.
While we were leaving the park, we had a team member look up all the information that we got from Terry, that the spirit that came through, and it was all true.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Okay guys, we are on the way to the next location. We just asked our team to look up Terry, and he sent back a Google search. September 27th, which is today.
No!
2007. So...
Wow, okay. Even Cody and Satori seem to be freaked out by that stat, and they don't generally show emotion like that, right? I haven't really seen them react in that way before. Even they still get freaked out by some of the information that they hear, assuming this is all real and assuming they're being real. Their baseline isn't to react that much, so the fact that they are reacting in this more expressive way is more evidence that it is real. You know what I mean? And Cody started freaking out without even looking at Satori. Like, Satori's mouth was already open before Cody even acknowledged her. He kind of had an outburst.
No!
2007.
So the fact that they're both shocked at the same time and they didn't seem to be playing off each other tells me that they were both genuinely surprised by that information, which indicates that they weren't necessarily playing off each other or acting.
Years ago, today, Terry Fika died.
That's crazy. That's crazy. That's freaky, man. That is freaky.
That's why I was walking around today.
Oh my god, I'll throw the screenshot on screen. But oh my...
That's why she might have been at the park. It was just like a memory thing.
Okay, Terry Ann Fika is a girl. And 47 years old, elementary school teacher at Globe Park School. Oh.
How would they know about this before? Again, they picked a random location, right? So if we're trusting Sam and Colby, which I am at this point, because again, like I said, they've just got too much on the line to be faking this all. And if they were faking it all, man, they would be disappointing a lot of people. They just seem like good dudes, right? Like, that's just my sense. So if we're believing Sam and Colby and they went to a random location that Satori and Cody have never been to, I mean, that's pretty freaking crazy. How can you deny that? That seems to me like it would be almost impossible to debunk, although I'm sure there's videos out there that have tried to debunk this, and I'm sure there's a lot of people who still believe this isn't real, and that's fine. I'm just saying, I believe this.
Cool. Oh my god.
Wow, 2007.
In 2007, exactly what we got.
Aww.
R.I.P.
That is insane.
Wow.
That is also beautiful that she would come back to the elementary school.
Just visiting.
Just visiting.
But just to be triple safe, we went to a random studio.
How crazy would that be if Satori and Cody this whole time were just listening to Sam and Colby being like, how crazy is this? Just like believing this. And I had this crazy interaction with grandparents and great-grandparents, and they're talking about it, and they're just kind of sitting there listening. Like, how crazy would that be if they, in their back of their minds, knew this was a lie the whole time? Like, that would be insane. Like I said, sociopathic. I can't imagine that. I can't imagine that.
Before we went inside, we spontaneously told him to do it right there in the parking lot.
Feel it?
You want to say what you want to say? Ready? Okay, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, A, B, C, D, E, He, A, B.
Then we went inside the studio to capture audio on a second device live on camera.
These videos are fucking awesome. They are. They're just awesome because, you know, we get to debate this, we get to kind of be skeptical, we get to be optimistic, we get to be hopeful, we get to have all these different feelings. And it's fun. It's super fun. If they were faking it, let's say Sam and Colby are faking it, maybe their way of justifying it is what we're doing is providing this incredible entertainment for the world. And what we're doing is getting people really excited, we're getting people really scared, we're getting people really skeptical. We're encouraging and facilitating all these online debates and questions, and we're essentially creating this like horror series. If you're more on the skeptical side and you're questioning it all, maybe that's how they would justify this whole thing, is they're creating this amazing horror series for the world, and that the world will forgive them because they're providing this crazy entertainment. Again, I don't believe that story, but I can see that being a story potentially for the skeptics and the naysayers. I don't see it being possible because so many people want to believe this is true, and so many people do believe spirits are true, and so many people are inspired by this, right? I think about my last video that I did. I literally talked to my grandmother. I was like, wow, if this is real, I can talk to my grandmother. It makes me more optimistic about life after death. It makes me more optimistic in terms of my ability to connect with my ancestry. So it's like this serious emotional experience for so many people who gain hope and clarity potentially. So that's why I don't think they joke around about it. But I can see that side of the argument as if they're creating this like super entertaining series.
We've been trying to debunk this for the past 2 months. Every single night I've been thinking about this, and it has to be. There's no way.
Completely changed the way we think, changed everything for us.
Right.
Obviously, we experienced it different. We were in person. You know, we saw it, we heard it, we felt it in our shoes, and no matter what we could capture on camera or you hear through the speakers of your computer or phone is not going to be the same, and we understand that.
Now, would you say this is sort of the same tone that they speak to the audience in generally? Like, aside from these videos, is this sort of how they speak? Or do you feel like they're kind of putting it on a little bit more, as if they're like trying to convince us like this is real? Or do you just think this is just naturally how they are? It sounds like these guys are 100% convinced. That's what I believe.
Like we said, we were spinning on this for the last 2 months and talked to close friends and family, tried every single way that we could in our minds to debunk it, and absolutely couldn't. So if you guys have any other ideas, let us know.
The point is, this is something that we are going to be talking about for the rest of our lives. It completely changed what we believe in, you know, how we approach the paranormal, spirituality, everything.
For sure.
So I hope you can kind of see why now, but we have so many more things to show you.
Yeah, how wouldn't that change your world? How wouldn't that rock your world? 100%. What these guys are saying checks out in that sense. They want us to believe it, right? Because this is so cool. This is special. So it makes sense that they're speaking with a little bit more conviction here. It's important for you to believe this because this is special. They're really highlighting the weight and the gravity of this whole thing, and they're making it a point to communicate how serious this is. And that makes me believe them even more.
I don't know if you guys are like prepared for it. When this video goes out and people can see everything that you do, we're gonna leave most of it uncut. It's gonna be a big splash. I'm not even trying to sound like boastful or dramatic or anything, but it could change the world, like view of spirits and stuff.
Yeah.
This is so special.
Probably the most
That's
undeniable thing anybody's ever seen about the afterlife.
Jeez.
And like you guys have that.
No, yeah, we definitely don't realize that, that's for sure.
No.
Yeah, I guess it's like very natural for Cody and Satori. Like they don't realize how big of a deal it is because like they're engrossed in that world. So, for people like me who don't really encounter videos like this or don't really think about spirits that often, I look at this and it makes you wonder why it's not talked about more. It makes you wonder why people don't question these things more. And it makes you wonder why people aren't motivated to try to connect with spirits and their ancestors more. And like I talked about in the last video I watched, I think because we can't see it and there's not, scientific vocabulary and palpable evidence to prove this sort of thing, that it's sort of like swept under the rug and probably looked at as more of a pseudoscience. We're in a new generation where YouTube's big and people who have a platform have the ability to popularize these quote-unquote pseudosciences.
We can't give a reading to everybody or give a session to everybody.
Yeah, we're not doing gallery readings or anything ever in the future. We're not taking money for this or anything.
But
I guess some people might question that, like, well, we can't do this for everyone. So then I'm sure the skeptics will come in and say, well, you can't do it for everyone. Oh, what are you trying to say? That you can only do it when it's planned out and you have enough time to plan out the situation and manipulate the situation? I'm sure there's skeptics that are saying that. I don't think that's necessarily the case, but I'm just saying, I'm just pointing that out. I'm pointing out what skeptics may say.
Somebody out there watching you, and if you think you know who it is, it probably is that person.
I think that's why whatever it was chose you guys, because that's who mine saw. Super interesting.
For real,
Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to watch more of this. Colby and Sam knew this was going to explode. They knew it. And they've gotten millions and millions of views on these videos. So, guys, let me know what I need to watch next. Should I just start from episode 2 at the beginning and just watch the whole series with you guys? Or are there certain clips or chunks that you think are better just to go straight to? Let me know. I'd be curious to hear your thoughts. I cut up some of my reaction and analysis, so if you guys do want to watch my full uncut reaction and analysis, along with my first full uncut reaction and analysis, I include all of my uncut videos on my Patreon page, and I've included the link in my description below. Other than that, another fun video. Loved it, and I look forward to checking out more. Thanks for being here, and I'll catch you soon. Peace.